Antonio Pierce of the Raiders turns out, at least looking at what we're seeing so far, looks like a terrible hire. At the time, he might have done good things with his defense to end the season, blah, 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 blah. He beat the Chiefs, they say. At the end of the day, this man's not an NFL head coach for this decade. Okay, that run the ball, play defense shit, go find that 20 years ago, buddy. So that he's in way over his head. Raider fans are starting to realize it, and they can keep blaming all the quarterbacks they want. Well, the first 2 games or 3 games of the season, Gardner Minshew was top 5 in every category. Yet they were, still struggling in reality to win games and score points, etc. Now they won 2 games. We don't know how, but they did. And the last couple of games, they've looked atrocious. I mean, the game today with the Steelers, I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched very little of it, to be honest with you. But judging by the score and from what we saw, I started watching on that play there near the end zone where he doesn't challenge. The play is clearly, you need to challenge it. It's not a touchdown, but it's a lot closer than what they gave you. And you challenge it, and maybe you run something else. But at the end of the day, he's clearly in way over his head.
So, what do you say to the Raider fans who just had so much hype and so much almost arrogance? It was almost an arrogance from Raider fans when he got hired that they were going to be the successful program. I mean, what do you say to them at this point?
Well, I don't know if there was arrogance from the Raider fans, but most Raider fans, listen, I'm just not going to say Raider fans. All fanatics, especially NFL football fanatics, they all think like it is their time. Right? And to be honest with you, I don't know any Panther fans, right? So maybe they don't believe that shit. The Dolphins fan believe it. Cowboys fans definitely fucking believe it. The Steeler fans as well. Every NFL fan base thinks this is their year, going all the time. And it's, this is, but when you actually sit and you find the realistic fan, the realistic Raider fan, the realistic Cowboy fan, I don't know any of them, to be honest with you. I don't know if they exist on the Cowboys end. But I know some of the Raider fans, and they thought, at the time it was a good hire because he did well with the defense to close the year. But you still had a quarterback issue. You went games where you could barely score. The game against, I think it was the Chiefs, he didn't throw a pass for 2 quarters, 2.5 quarters, 3 quarters, whatever it was. They still managed to win the game. But, how much were the Chiefs playing for at that point? And it was Christmas Day and blah, blah, blah. Listen, the Chiefs turned it up when they needed to. That's for another day. So the Raider fans, I think the realistic Raider fans are starting to regret this, but they're also regretting the offensive coordinator hire. Like, what did he do in Chicago that showed you that he could run another offense? Like, he couldn't do that, and you gave him a job. So it's like it starts in reality from the top with the Raiders. It starts with the general manager all the way down to the sideline. And Antonio Pierce, in my opinion, is not an NFL head coach. You saw it with the Raiders in week 1. You saw he's not NFL ready, bottom line. And you just threw him out there because he had a couple of good weeks. Well, and I think they did that because the last time they did that, they didn't stick with the guy. And, the team liked him and blah, blah. And then this time Crosby advocated for him. And he did do very well with the defense to close the year. But at the end of the day, now we realize 6 games in that man is not an NFL head coach. He's really not. He went out and put an AOC in there, and he proved that he's not it.
I just really hope that, because at this point, let's say he doesn't turn around. Let's say it looks like he's going down the avenue of getting fired. I don't want to hear one line of "We need a Raider as our head coach." You don't need a Raider, you need a winner. I'm tired of hearing that line. It's over. Stop it.
Yeah,
Get a winning coach.
Yeah, that being a Raider thing, what even is a fucking Raider at this point? Like, what is a Raider? That whole being a Raider shit, that's when all the guys that are Raider fans now that are 55, 60, 65 years old, that was a thing back then. Dude, there hasn't been a Raider or whatever the fuck. That's like not even a fucking thing anymore. Like, you've literally accomplished not a damn thing. Absolutely nothing since you got your ass whooped in that Super Bowl against Gruden. Like that was the last time that team was basically a real contender and a real title contender. So the whole we need a Raider, that shit is long gone. Like the fans, most of the fans, there's probably like 90% of the fans are just fucking idiots. And that includes all fan bases, not just the Raiders. But to say, oh, this is the Raider way, that's not a fucking thing. If you like our content, please make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Check us out on all our social platforms and anywhere you can find your podcasts.